Well, you may have heard of it, but I just learned about it 5 minutes ago. Bacon marmalade. Is that the way you say it, Andrea?
Marmalade, marmalade.
Whatever.
It's all
Andrea from With President's Choice is here today. You just enriched my life with that.
This is
now we're going to make some biscuits with it.
We absolutely are. This is a great product. One of my favorites. So we're going to make a buttermilk biscuit that has that bacon marmalade woven into it with a little bit of cheese. So biscuits are really easy. I think people get a little bit nervous when they're making biscuits, but it's known as a quick bread, so it's really quick.
Okay.
So we got flour in here. We've got some baking soda, a little bit of salt.
And does it matter what order you put them in?
No.
Okay.
No. This is all your dry ingredients
are going together.
breads,
they have a system of how they do it.
Okay, so we're going to go in with our butter. So the key to this is, I'm going to get my fingers right in here. The key to this is cold butter, okay? Because what happens, you know when you have a biscuit...
stick butter.
Yeah. Well, it's in a stick, it just makes it easier for measuring. So if you're doing any kind of baking, I always recommend getting the President's Choice stick butter because it's already basically measured out for you, okay? So this can get a little bit messy, but what you want to do is you want to start breaking up the butter with your fingertips. And what you're looking for is for that butter to become almost like a pea size, very small.
Oh, so it's getting crumbly then.
Oops. I should have told you.
Dusting me? That's okay. You can get dirty and I'll just watch you look pretty like that.
Perfect. So we're just going to get this worked in. You could also use a pastry cutter, like I said, but we're going to use
that was going to be my next. It's like we are sharing the same brainwave. I was just going to ask you about pastry cutters. Okay, and then you add in that after this is mixed a little bit?
Yeah, so what we're going to do is I'm going to get you to add in that buttermilk right there. So there's a buttermilk. So these are buttermilk biscuits.
And how much is here?
I believe it's 1 1/3.
So you're going to stir as I pour?
Yes, just pour it all right in quickly.
Oh, I can just dump it in. Look at that.
Dump it in.
Okay.
Okay, so then we're going to start stirring it together. And what you're looking for here, as you can see, is it doesn't come together like some people think a biscuit's going to come together and you're going to get this one beautiful homogeneous ball of dough.
I've made a different recipe of cheese biscuits, and this is like the first time I made it. Am I doing it wrong? This looks like choppy.
No, perfect. So that's what you want. It gets sort of, I call it looks like rags, essentially, right? It's honestly, that's a term. I didn't just make that up. I'm going to get you, here, take my rolling pin. We're going to put some bench flour down.
Bench flour, what's bench flour?
Bench flour is essentially what you put down on your workbench or surface.
Oh, okay, so it's not like you don't go to the grocery store and see bench. I'm sorry. I'm
not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
That's okay. I'll just hold this pin and
so I'm just going to put that.
Help you look fabulous. Look at that.
All right.
That's awesome.
Okay, so you don't want to knead this too much because what happens is you develop the gluten and then your biscuits will become quite tough.
We're still talking about your biscuits or my biscuits? Okay, so we don't want them to be too tough.
You don't want tough buns.
You know what? Some people might disagree with you, sweetie. Okay, so you do this about 10 times, you said?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're going to use the rolling pin and roll that out into a nice...
Do you dust this?
Yeah, you can just take your hand, pat it down, and dust it.
Okay.
Beauty.
And then how big does this have to be? And then you cut it, or do you roll it, or how does that work? Like you...
I'm just enjoying watching you do this. Okay,
why? You don't think I'm doing it?
You
Here,
are.
you take it, sweet muffins. Okay, now do you put them in the middle?
Yeah, here we go.
Oh, you have to put that down first, okay.
All right, so we're just
Why
going to...
mustard?
Because mustard is a great accent to goes with the cheese. It gives it that sort of...
Oh, okay, because usually you put down something to anchor a dry ingredient, right?
Well, that works too, but we're going to put some more...
Bacon, put a lot.
Okay, this is what you want, right?
Be generous, sweetie, be generous.
Right. The great thing about this is when it goes into the oven, I'll get you just to spread that all around.
Okay.
When this goes in the oven, that bacon marmalade starts to melt.
See, now you're saying it like me. We're talking the same now.
Bacon marmalade starts to melt and gets ooey and gooey and just makes a delicious, delicious muffin. Bacon bits.
Oh, can we dump the whole thing?
Do it.
Okay. I love bacon.
And then finally, you have to have cheese with this. Cheese, bacon, a little bit of that grainy mustard, and you have like the perfect flavor combination.
Oh, nice.
Okay. So now, this is what you do. I'm just going to pat it down. You could have made this a little bit bigger. Me. I'm not saying you.
Oh, so we're blaming it on me now. You take the pin from my hand and okay, I see how that works.
But, you know, just we want to get this done so everyone can see how easy this is to do.
Now you're saying I didn't do it properly and you're too slow. Thank you.
Okay, so we're just going to cut the first end off because that's sort of always, we call that the cook's treat.
Oh.
Okay, and I'm going to get you just to put them right into our...
Do you spray this?
Absolutely. So you're going to use a cooking spray, or you can use, in our case, we're using a non-stick pan. You're going to pop those right in there and get them into a 400-degree oven for about 18 minutes.
Once you're done, they look like that.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
So these are perfect, great for breakfast, great for an afternoon snack. You can keep them for a day or so. Heat them up if you're going to keep them
Are they
for
good
longer than a
frozen
day.
if you put them away to freeze?
Yeah, you know what I would do actually is I would make them till they're this state here.
Yeah.
Freeze them or put them in the fridge. Like if you're going to cook them in 2 days,
Oh,
put them in the
okay.
fridge, because what you want is that butter to stay cold, because that butter is what's going to give you that real flakiness.
Oh, okay.
But you could
All
freeze
right.
them like this as well, and then bring them out and thaw them. And
Wow, I
Yeah.
can't wait to try one. Thanks so much for your
You're
time
welcome.
today. That's
You're welcome.
awesome.